Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and Supercoach Pro. Today's video we are doing the round 9 Supercoach AFL preview. Now we'll get stuck into the side, hoping to get in the top 1,000 this week. Being optimistic, hopefully it pays off this week. So get stuck in the actual side itself. Pretty standard here. Hewitt's been named in the side, which is interesting to note. However, it sort of concerns me that he's on the extended bench. So I'm not sure if he actually will be named at 5 p.m. tomorrow, but that is sort of what's holding up my trades at the moment to what I actually want to do. And also Driscoll and Ward have both been dropped. Driscoll has actually got a 6-week foot injury, so not really dropped, but he's one that's got to go. Ward's got to go, and Hayes has to go. It just depends on the 5 p.m. lineup. I do want to keep a loophole, so I'm more reluctant to probably keep Hayes this week because I know he won't be playing in, off an ACL, obviously. And it's just about the rookies too, as in who you bring in. There's a few players everyone's bringing in is Morris Rioli. As a Tigers man, I'm actually not going to go that way. I think we've got too much depth. They want to bring in players like Dow. They're going to debut Swansea at some point. I just feel like he's one bad game from being dropped. I actually think he plays, well, he does play this week. I think they also keep him for Dream Time at the G. And just after that, if he doesn't perform well after that game, I think that game's almost a given for him. It's just, I don't want him to get dropped round 11 and then they have the bye. I'm pretty sure round 12. So I'm a little bit scared that he'll, might store his cash in and could be like a Rosas situation. Rosas, however you want to say him. So I'm a little bit concerned he doesn't even make it to that and he just makes the next 2 games. And that's it. I don't know why I clicked on Jaden Short there, but you know what I'm trying to say. So for me, job security, it feels a bit iffy. I'm more reluctant to probably go Cooper Hamilton now that Leon Cameron has stepped down from coaching, or a nice way of just saying he's been fired because they've got a record of 2-6 this year. So, he's 20 grand cheaper than Morris Rioli, and he doesn't need to score that well to make 150k, and he's in the back line. So I think his scoring is going to be more consistent more than anything. And, Morris Rioli scored that 95 with a bit of junk time goal. He did kick 3 goals, but it was when the game was already dead and buried. So, I think Cooper Hamilton is the one I will grab. Greg Clark, I'll probably wait another week just until he's on the bubble so I can actually downgrade. This video feels a little bit pointless in some sense of trading wise because I won't be able to actually know my exact trade until 5 p.m. Problem is I'm on a road trip tomorrow to Mildura, so I won't actually be able to do an update on my side, but all things going well, I probably would rather. I think Hewitt doesn't get named or he's a last minute out. So what I'm considering of doing, Luke Ryan hurt his ankle in that game on the weekend. So I'm more reluctant to probably trade O'Driscoll and Ward. And then maybe even use Hewitt as my loophole if he doesn't get up. The player I will bring is Cooper Hamilton. I don't think I'll use a trade boost this week for once. Been smashing them out, but what I'm thinking is Cooper goes here in the mids. Now down back, this is the interesting one. I think I say that a lot. I just thought about that then anyway. Pretty irrelevant. If you go by filters and you go players I can afford, there's a couple of different options. I don't want Boston. I've already got Short. He is still a pod. I don't really want Sinclair. He's dropped off a little bit in the last 2 weeks. If you have a look at his 3-round average of 93, it doesn't really appeal to me. He's got the Cats this week, which is a tough ask. So for me, it's probably Pendlebury or Jordan Dawson for the players I can afford. I wanted Bailey Dale, but I'm a little bit short in money, and he actually doesn't have DPP anyway. So I'm actually thinking Pendlebury. I was going to do a player compare. I'm I'm not sure why I can't right now. Anyway, if you just click on Penderbury anyway, he's got pretty solid scores. Great. I wanted to do this in one take, and it's not going to allow me to, by the looks of it. All right, so this is what we meant to do is compare player. They've both got pretty hard teams coming up, Collingwood and Adelaide, so it does make it a little bit tricky. Let me know, which defender you guys prefer to go for. Would it be Dawson with that slight role change, or would you prefer Penderbury in the fact he's been there, done it before for season's end? So they're very similar. If you want to compare the pair, as I do on a Saturday night, Dawson's 20 grand cheaper. They're averaging pretty similar. Penderbury's, 2 points averaging slightly higher. Last three, 107 to 103. That's going Penderbury's way. Highest, Penderbury 124 and Dawson 134, which he did last week. So the ceiling's about the same. 10 points is a bit of a difference though. And the lowest score, Penderbury's up on him there by about 6 points. So, I don't know, even reading these stats, I'm slightly thinking about Dawson now, just in the age. Does Penderbury slow down in the back end of it, or do you just take a punt on a guy who could absolutely really tear it apart in the back half of the year like he did last year? So, I suppose these videos actually help myself sometimes when you actually look this deep into a player. The problem with Penderbury, he does got the dogs, who are not as tough as last year, but then he's got Freo. These are both not at the G. He normally scores better at the MCG, if you can see there. Whereas Marvel, he doesn't score as well. That was against West Coast, however. So, and then he's got 4 at the G, and he's got the round 14 bye. So I really don't know if I want to have Crisp, Dacos, and Penderbury all in the back line. Surely I flipped Dacos before their bye anyway. Or do you go the route of Dawson? If we have a look at what he's got, even home ground wise, does he play Adelaide Oval a fair bit? Does he not? You're not really worrying about these early scores. He did have like an ankle problem in the preseason. The only thing is he's only scored 3 tons. That's a little bit worrying that he's just missed out on tons by a couple points. He does go missing in games and has really hot patches, but his next 5 are pretty decent too. Brisbane, St Kilda, Geelong, not so appealing to me, but it's the next 3 after that. He's got West Coast, Gold Coast, and North. So maybe I could hold off. He does play those 2 at home though. So I'm still pretty uncertain on this pick. I haven't really. It's really flip a coin. It's more who you think will score better from here on out. I mean, Dawson plays North Melbourne twice. Let's just say for video's sake, we go Dawson for now. I think I've convinced myself there. And then for that third trade, I'm pretty uncertain. I think I'll just leave it in case it's laid out for maybe someone like Luke Ryan. If Luke Ryan does go out, who could I trade him for? Because I actually do hate the pick. He's such an anti-pod at this stage of the game. Just losing points, and even to replace him, oh, wow. I think I just bought myself Jake Lloyd. I hate Luke Ryan anyway, so I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, you know what, stuff it. We'll get rid of Luke Ryan. I hate him anyway, so not as a person, just as a Supercoach player, obviously. He's got Essendon, Carlton, and Richmond in the next 3. And he's got Melbourne. His lowest is 71. His highest 116. What's his break even? 85. You know what? I just did a trade that I wasn't even thinking about. So, welcome to the side, Jake Lloyd. See you later, Luke Ryan. Your 60s can get out of here. 18 trades left. I'm actually really happy with that side. and I've just done something I didn't think I'd do before. So that recording was really left field. I didn't even know I was going to do that move. So let me know what you guys think of that move. I'm going to do it anyway. It'd be taking me a lot to convince me otherwise. But for the vice captains and captains, I've ranted too much about the Pendlebury and Dawson thing that I've almost forgot what the rest of my video was about. We're going to go McRae vice, and we'll go the C for Oliver this week. He's got Collingwood. My options aren't really deep anyway, with Hayes being the game sort of, 4 games in. So I don't really got any North Melbourne players. Well, I actually don't got any, so I can't do anything there. I'm not going to VC Butters. He's crap. And Richmond, you could VC short if you're in a position to, or Crisp. I just don't think they're value. For VC, you want someone with a really high ceiling. I think that's McRae, or even Dunkley could be sneaky. It's his week of 130 this week, you'd think, after a poor score of 78. So he's pretty hot and cold. So one of those two for me. And then Oliver against West Coast feels like a no-brainer. And to be fair, like last week, I'll probably just see how the other teams go, and if McRae's VC is, worthy and Steele doesn't go big, and all these anti guys I don't got, they don't go large, then I'll play it by that. Is how I pretty much go. Like last week, when you look at the captain scores, they weren't big, so that's why I just left it on Neil without having to risk a Cripps, which I would have loved to, but it just wasn't worth it. So Hayes still at R2 there with the emergency, so don't take your emergency off Hayes this week, obviously. And yeah, hopefully Hewitt gets named. So that's the end of the video. Bit of ranting, but it's kind of what you expect when you really haven't had time to think about your trades, and the sides only came out about 3 hours ago. So let me know how you guys are going and what your trades are, and I'll see you in the round 9 review Sunday or Monday possibly. So hope you guys have a good one.